Well, not done one of these in a while. Greetings and salutations. Thought I'd do a little sort of update. Not done, like I said, not done one in a long time. So I thought there's a few bits I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about like girlfriend life, house fund, house update, my plans and everything like that. Also got an update to just a sort of Patreon stuff. Want to talk about some real life serious shit. And also a random update to the Stray Cat Diaries, if you are interested in that. This is awkward now, because I was like, without further ado, let's get into it. But normally that's followed by like some snazzy graphics with a bit of drum and bass. I don't have one of those. So I'm just going to assume my brilliant future editing will fix that problem. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about today is just YouTube in general, future plans, what's going on the channel, what's going on Twitch at the moment and stuff like that. So as you know, the Journeyman this year is coming to an end. You know, hopefully, I don't know with all the COVID stuff, but hopefully there's going to be a new Football Manager in 4 or 5 months. So that'll be nice, won't it? But so the Journeyman is going to end after one more season. I've loved it. It's been brilliant. I kind of like that we're doing this final season, whatever happens, let's try and win it all, because no, my luck, we'll just massively bottle it. No, my luck strokes skill. We'll massively bottle it. But once that's finished, there'll be a couple of days break, and then the new secret project save will start on YouTube, which I'm so very excited for you to see. It is, again, like, it's just never been done before. So, and then once, it's a relatively short save. So once that's done, I'm going to be starting the one club save for the rest of the thing. I really, it's the way I play the game. I love playing those little tiny non-league teams. I haven't announced, should I announce who the club is? No, not yet. I'll tease you a little bit more. It's going to be a one club save where we take them up. But while we're doing that, we're going to actually be working with the real life football club and trying to raise some much needed funds. With all that's going on in the world at the moment, obviously a lot of these non-league teams are struggling even more than normal. And so we're going to do our bit like we did for Fort William. You know, it was quite random because with the Fort William stuff, we raised them some money. I ended up travelling to Scotland and being in a BBC documentary. Quite weird. But this new club, we want to sort of help out a little bit. I've done my research to make sure the owners are good, because you don't want dodgy owners that are just going to take the money. The money's going to be put to good use. And it's also, I've spoken to the chairman and the director and the managing director and stuff like that. We've been on Zoom business calls and all this fancy stuff. And they've got a very interesting history. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And that'll probably run for the rest of Football Manager 2020. With the Twitch stuff, if you've been on Twitch, you know what's going on recently. I've just gone back to Football Manager on Twitch. I think with Football Manager on Twitch, I kind of just got bored of just doing a save on Twitch, because it kind of turns into, I found it, me personally streaming it and watching other streams, it turns into a bit of robot hit continue sort of stuff. And that's why I kind of took a break from Football Manager on Twitch, because I was just like, I just don't want to just do a save and that's it and everything. So I needed to pick something, and doing this whole Brazil Wonder Kids interactive thing. So basically with channel points that you earn through watching the channel, you can buy a player and it gets renamed as you, but you get punished and praised. If you score a hat-trick, you get +1 random attributes and stuff. You can spend points to open a mystery box that improve or make your player a lot worse. Thomas, for instance, the left winger, got sent off, got a straight red card in one of the games. So he had to come onto Discord and apologise to everyone on stream who are his teammates and fans for getting sent off, despite the fact it was never a red card. We appealed. It was not a red card, but he did it anyway. He came on and apologised. So I'm absolutely loving that side of Twitch at the moment. If you haven't already, come and say hello. Come and join the Twitch. We're having such a laugh. Okay, so that's all the sort of stuff up until FM21. For anyone asking, I have no idea what my plans are for FM21. I don't think that far ahead. Got planning. So next thing I want to talk about, real life future plans stuff. As most of you are aware, a couple of things are happening in my life right now. So for the last, basically for the last 5 years, I've been saving up to buy my own house. I've never owned a house before. The house I'm currently living in is with my ex-girlfriend. They have a mortgage on the house, but it's not my house. And it's something that obviously I've always wanted to have a place that I can call my own. And that's the goal that I've been working towards for the last 5 years. That all the money that I've saved, it goes into a big pot that's going towards the deposit on the house. Now, the original plan was that me and Curly would buy the house to be closer, because we're in Northern Ireland at the moment, but it's a bit of a ball ache if I want to go visit the mum, especially because we've got 3 dogs and a cat, to get somebody to look after them so we can go visit my mum who's in Bournemouth on the south coast. So I wanted to get a place on the mainland that's closer to mum. I can't afford anywhere near Bournemouth, but I can afford like South Wales or like Midlandsy area, that sort of thing. And that's always been the plan. Unfortunately, I think nearly all of you know this, but a few months ago now, me and Curly broke up. It was a pretty shitty breakup. I'm not going to go into details. I've talked about it before, but I am also incredibly lucky that we now get on. We get on great. We're really good friends, and I'm so lucky because neither of us at the moment can afford or want to rent our own place. I'm not going to go into details with Curly because that's her own business, but she's been going through a few issues recently, and I don't know if she'll watch this video or not. Probably not, but I'm so fucking proud of her as her friend that she's got some issues in her head and, like, you know, life problems like a lot of us have been through. But instead of just hiding away and stuff, she's trying to face them head on, and I'm very proud of the fact she's facing it and she's talking about it and all this sort of stuff. So I'm incredibly proud of her for doing that. I think it shows like massive balls, because I think it's easier to hide away. Everybody talks about when you've got depression or whatever is to talk to people. That's the first bit of advice you always hear. But it's, anybody that suffered from depression, any form of depression, easier said than done, isn't it? But it really is the best medicine, is to just get talking to people, try and get help and stuff like that. And Curly's been doing that, and I'm incredibly proud of her. But obviously we are still broken up. We're staying broken up. We're just really good mates now. But the problem is that now, beforehand, it was going to be both our wages going towards the mortgage. Now it's just my wage going towards the mortgage. And if you don't know, generally speaking, when you get a mortgage, it's like 3 to 4 times your yearly wage you can borrow. So now that's just mine. It's obviously I can borrow a lot less. So it means I'm going to need a bigger deposit. I'm going to have to scale down. The problem is, if you don't know my future plans, I'll quickly run over it, is that I'm looking to get a place, not in the country, but like maybe on the outskirts of a town, village or something like that, that's detached place. I don't care if the place isn't the nicest, the actual house isn't the nicest or the largest. Don't really care about the size of the house. Not really bothered about that sort of stuff. But I want it to be detached so I can make noise streaming and stuff, and because I've got dogs and everything like that, but also like a decent sized garden, because my future plans is that once I'm all settled in, I want to start working with local dog charities, and maybe even start a local dog charity of my own. I plan to have a YouTube channel, something like an oldies club where, I help to rehome or just look after older dogs that struggle to get adopted. Nobody wants to adopt a 12-year-old dog because they will only have it for a couple of years and have to go through all that horrible stuff, but also vet bills and everything like that. So I'd like to get a place where I can maybe have 6 or 7 dogs as a fun retirement home where they can just spend the rest of their days relaxing, not having to worry about shit, not being in a pound anywhere, or trying to find rehomed or fostering or all this sort of moving about stuff, which old dogs just don't need. So I need a bit of space for that, garden wise, and a bit of room, because lots of dogs. And obviously, being that this is England and or Wales, that's going to be expensive. So what my plan was to maybe start looking next April, but that might be put back a little bit longer. It depends how long I stay here. Like I said, I'm very lucky that me and Curly are getting on, but so the plan was to get this place, but now because my lending power is a lot less, I might have to get like an intermediary place. I could look to rent. Rent is tough because you're always kind of, as you know, you're just sort of throwing money away. You're not investing it at all. But also trying to rent a place with 3 dogs and a cat is kind of tough. Most 95% of places won't allow pets. Fair enough. Like, it's up to them. It's their house. But a lot of places that do will either charge like an extra 25 quid a month, but also they'll only allow one more pet, like one pet, one cat or one dog or whatever like this, one hamster. How much? Pay 25 quid a month for a hamster. It's not going to make that much mess. But it cuts down the options. So what I might look to do is next April, sort of looking to buy a house. Realistically, what for my future goals, the house, if I don't put it in the south of England, will be sort of £250,000-300,000 for my ideal house that I can spend the rest of my days in and start my little dog charity. But I might be looking in April to get a place that's more like £150,000, that's just kind of fine for a couple of years. And then that will give me 2 years to carry on saving, pay off this mortgage pretty quick, carry on saving as much as possible, and then at the end of that 2 years, sell the house I'm in and move to a sort of upgrade slightly to the sort of final home. So that's kind of the way I looked at it, because I was kind of getting really, at one point I was getting really depressed after the breakup, after the horribleness of any breakup, and then I was like, I am now so far away from buying the house that we wanted again. It felt like back to square one, and but I think this is a good way of getting something. I'm still like, the house has to be just okay. You know, it doesn't have to be, I don't have to think I've got to spend the rest of my life here. It's like, yeah, this is a nice house. The garden's a decent size. It'll do for the next couple of years and stuff like that. Continue to save, and then I'm a lot more secure and all that sort of good stuff. So, yeah, and I just, this goes on to things just about YouTube and Twitch and Patreon and stuff. This is the, if you've watched one of these videos before, you know, this is the bit I struggle. I just want to do a quick Patreon update and then talk about Patreon and Twitch and YouTube and you guys, basically. So the Patreon update, because I haven't done one for like a month, because I don't like to bug people too much. So Asio Jadim Martins, Ilian Ladabum, Tubbo GG, Alexander Davis, Alex Green, Nick Bowie, Scott McMillan, Ali Ahmed, Connor Radant, Paul Crawford, Bruce Haar, Untamo Letio, Jack Kamert, I'm struggling, Alan Tobin, Joaquim Grendel, Rude L, Victor Nazariliev, Harrison Mitchell, Saeed, thank you, SC1D, then Nick Bowie upped his pledge. So he pledged and then upped his pledge. Thank you very much, mate. Connor Miller, Rumour, Grace Fisher, H.J. Tanning, Noah Peterson, Great Stupendo, great name, Anthony Ward, Chinny Chin, Lewis B, Dylan Wright, and Stiggy Bally Gibob. Perfect pronunciation. I just want to say thank you for joining the Patreon family, and just, yeah, massive. Okay, so I don't know if any of you sort of pay attention, like check my Patreon or something like that, but you'll see over the course of the last sort of few months that the Patreon has gone down. This is not about me about to complain. My Patreon is just extraordinarily ridiculous for the size of this little speck channel on the internet. But I just wanted to know that the first thing I want to say is we're in a weird fucking shitty time in this world right now, like with the COVID stuff and the world realizing that racism still exists, and all the other shit going on. And I don't know, I try to avoid generally politics on this channel, but I just want to say a special shout out to all my American friends who have a tyrant leading them at the moment. Stay strong, you're doing fucking great work, keep it up. Watching those things going on in Portland and Trump sending out troops and stuff is fucking scary. But no, you're in the right place, you're doing the right thing, and your message will get across eventually. So yeah, but the whole world with the COVID stuff, And I would just want to say, I get lots of messages from people on Patreon just saying, hey, mate, look, sorry, I've got to cancel my Patreon because X, Y, and Z reason, and I'm struggling at the moment, or whatever it is. Guy, I like, it's the biggest guilt. The biggest guilt I feel is when, it sounds weird, the biggest guilt I feel is when people feel guilty for cancelling their pledge. If you are short of money, just delete it. You don't need to send me a message. I am grateful if you just pop in and do 1 month and then leave immediately. Like Connor Redant, for instance. Sorry to take you as an example, Connor. He just wanted to do a one-off donation of $50. He joined, did the $50, and he left. And that is ridiculously generous. All my content is always free and will always be free for all time. So never worry about giving me money. If you can watch an ad if you want, if you're feeling friendly, like it, that's all that really matters. But the fact that so many people are even with all the shit going on and everybody struggling, so many people struggling, people are still doing this stuff on Patreon, and I still have hundreds of people supporting me on Patreon. And I am in the fucking luckiest position because I'm already a hermit. The COVID stuff has, for me personally, has barely had any effect. Obviously, things like, Patreon's gone down and ad revenues dropped right off and stuff like that, that's affected it, of course. But I can still do my job. I can still stream. I can still make videos. It's not like I was going out every day and mingling with hundreds of people that I'm now missing. I'm the luckiest person alive. I realise this, and you guys show me that on a continuous basis. It is bonkers. It is bonkers. And I know some people like to sort of, I leave my Patreon public because I kind of want to just be open and honest, and people can see what I make and they can decide if they want to support me or not. And I've always been that way. And I know I've had a couple of messages saying, oh, your Patreon's dropped off or whatever. It's like, it should be dropping off 10 times faster. It should never be that size. It's ridiculous. So yeah, if you are a Patreon, if you are a current Patreon, if you're a Twitch subscriber, and you're short of cash, you don't have to message me. You don't have to feel bad. You just go in there, delete it, delete any Patreons you've got, and don't feel bad for anyone, because look after yourself first and look after yourself and your family first and your friends first. That is all that matters. And then, when you win the lottery one day, you can throw me a tenner. It's basically that much. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that I've had Patreons that have been going years now, and they've continuously given to me, and I will never take it for granted just how massive that is. That's been going a long time, and it's ridiculous. And same goes for people on Twitch. I have, I've been sporadic with my Twitch streaming up until 6 months ago, where I sort of properly did a schedule and I stream 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But I've got people that have been subs to me there on for 3 years now. And I 100% feel like I don't deserve it. I have full-on imposter syndrome. I'm just a fucking fat old dude that makes Football Manager videos, and it just feels, especially with all that's going on, it kind of feels like such a little bit. But I do know that it means, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch much more YouTube than I do TV nowadays. And it does mean a lot. That's how I've got to look at it. I've got to look at it from the viewer perspective, because there's channels that I watch that allow me to escape the shit of real life for a bit, or just take my mind off something, or cheer me up when I'm feeling down. And I get messages from you guys saying as much, that I helped them through a bad time and stuff like that. And it's just, the rest is kind of meaningless. The money, the house, the plans and stuff. The fact that I'm in a position where I can make a video that's just a bit of fun, that's doesn't go not serious, that just has a laugh, and that maybe helps somebody one day, just a little bit, just a tiny bit. I'm not saying I cured them of depression, but sometimes you just need something to put a smile on your face, and I'm very proud that can do that for a few people. But yeah, the support is incredible. For the amount of so I don't check things like followers, subscribers on YouTube, and how many followers I have on Twitter or Twitch. I just don't check those numbers anymore, because, and I haven't for like a year, and I really did at first. I used to every month I used to check my followers and see how much I'd grown by, and then I'd check all the other FM YouTubers and stuff, and I'd update them and see how fast I was growing in comparison and stuff like that. And maybe that does help at the beginning when you're getting going, so you can see what's working and stuff like this. But I don't ever I'm not bothered about being rich. So I guess I got to a place where the numbers were irrelevant. All I'm doing is trying to make videos for people like me. That stuff just chilled out, fun, silly, not taking the games too seriously. Same with the streams, just having a bit of fun. And what all I'm trying to do is entertain the people that enjoy my channel. If nobody else joins, fair enough. But if the guys that have supported me for this long on things like Patreon or Twitch, or just watch the ads, or even just watch my videos and comment or like the videos, those little things matter. And if I can entertain those guys, then my job is 100% done. And if there's other people that randomly find my channel and fall into that same boat of enjoying the same stuff, then great. If not, great. I'm not about having 100,000 subscribers and getting a little plaque from YouTube. I could make experiment videos and videos I'm not really bothered in if I wanted to do that. I like to do what I like to. I like to do what I want to do and enjoy making the videos and not have to force it and not have to be fake. And as you can see with the Brazil thing on Twitch, I want to do something different. And you'll see that very soon when the journeyman ends. You'll see something very different. Yeah, so this is gone. I've gone full on ramble, haven't I? Sorry. Right, okay, let's move on. Yes, thank you to the new... To summarise the TLDR, thank you to all the new patrons, and thank you everybody for the support for the last almost 5 years now. 5 years, that's mad, isn't it? Shout out to the OGs that were here in the first 5,000. Respect. Yeah. So a little random thing at the end of today's video is that there's a series on my channel called Cat Diaries, because we found a stray cat. Then she was pregnant, had babies, and I spent 100 plus hours outside with these animals that didn't like humans, and just sort of won their trust and their affection and stuff like that, to the point where we could rehome the kittens, which we did. And they're all in lovely homes. They've all found great homes and everything like that. So a week and a half ago, a cat turns up, and a black and white cat I maybe seen once or twice. One of the random ones that maybe walks around and stuff like this. But this cat turned up, young female. She's got 2 kittens. About 8 or 9 weeks old. Turns up with these 2 very shy kittens, very, very scared of humans. Obviously have never been close to a human before, these 2 kittens. Mum cat was wary, but wouldn't let you touch her, but she wouldn't just immediately run off like the kittens did. So I've been feeding them for the last just a week or so. The good news is we've got a shed in the garden that backs onto a little sort of private spot that's overgrown, which is perfect for the cats. It's where mum cats stayed. And we've got an old dog kennel, which the cats sleep in. Good news is our shed is slowly rotting away. It's a wooden panel shed. And the bottom of one side is basically rotten to the point where there's a big hole. And the kittens and cats are now using that so they can, when it's raining and stuff, they can sleep in the kennel or sleep in the shed. So they've got somewhere. So at the moment, I'm not going to make a series on it, but I will let you know how it's going. At the moment, I'm just spending a few hours out there each day, feeding the cats, just sitting there, showing them that I'm not, a danger or predatory in any way. Feeding them, and I can get pretty close now. The kittens will feed But they do this thing where they run out, grab one bit of food, and then run away again, and they'll just keep doing that. But gradually, slowly, over time, they've sort of got used to me being there. They don't immediately run away. Ironically, because cats are dickheads, right? I love cats, don't get me wrong. Love them to bits, but they're dickheads. So I'll come out the side door with a pouch of food for dinner time. They'll all look up from, it's about 20 yards away. 2 kittens and the mum cat will go, oh, because they basically live in that spot now. And they'll go, oh, food. All get excited, charge towards me, like close the distance from 20 to 10 yards, and I'll slowly be walking out, and then the mum cat will start hissing at me like I'm invading her privacy. I'm like, you ran to me, cat. You literally saw me, ran towards me, so you could hiss at me for being near you. There's no logic to that, cat. And then I'll slowly walk and she'll back up, and then I can feed them and stuff. But yeah, hopefully we can basically, because the kittens are all kind of the right age for rehoming. It might be a bit of a struggle because they're a little bit too older, so they're a little bit harder to win over, I think. I need to start being able to play with them and stuff like that until, like, and maybe try and get them rehomed. But yeah, so that was a random Stray Cat Diaries. So yeah, series 2. But there, completely random, these 2 kittens turned up, and it was nice. The first night where it really rained, the mum cat slept in the same little hollow and with the kittens that the original mum cat used to sleep in with her, where she gave birth to her kittens. Because I'm lazy, I didn't get rid of that big wooden ski slope thing with a carpet on that I put there for the previous cats. So they're using that now. So it's all kind of worked out in that way. Right, my 10-minute update video has now gone on 26 minutes. Oh, there's one other thing. Hang on. Excuse me for it. Okay, don't move then. Don't move, I'll go past you. Yeah, no, you don't move. Yeah, good. I've had some issues. This is the arm off my off my chair, right? I was going to say, it's supposed to go there. You know where an arm goes, right? For the armrest. I thought it just loosened and then fell off one day, but the actual bolts sheared off inside the chair. So unless I get new bolts, drill out the old ones and try and make that work and stuff like that, it's time for a new chair. And I'm trying to save money. But then I found this thing. I've wanted a Herman Miller chair for probably before I got this. So like 3 or 4 years. Herman Miller, if you don't know, they make like the best office chairs, the most comfortable, professional office chairs. None of this bucket seat shit. Apologies if you've got a bucket. I just hate them. I just hate the idea. Because they're a con. No, leave it. They make these amazing chairs. And I've been looking at them the last couple of days, like chair porn. And I'm like, they're ridiculously expensive. They're crazy amounts of money. Like, there's a reason they literally have a 12-year warranty, 24-hour usage. So you can use it 24 hours a day for 12 years. And if your seat breaks, you'll still get your... Yeah, they are the dog's danglies. So I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I've bought the computer since I started YouTube is like the only sort of treat. I obviously needed it for work, a computer, but it's the only thing I really treated myself with, a really nice beastly computer. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make it a donation. I'm gonna save up for the chair. I know I look like a sprite mid-20s person, but I'm actually, I know this will surprise many of you, I'm actually a guy in his early 40s. I know. Shock news. And, you know, when you get old, your body gets a bit creaky and stuff like that. So I think because I spend 14 hours a day sitting in this chair, I think it's a worthy investment to actually get, and it's a lot of money, and it's going to be the last sort of semi-frivolous purchase. I'm not even sure if it is frivolous, but I feel like it's frivolous because it's so expensive. I've never spent anything like that. This is an IKEA chair. I won't be able to have the scarves on the back, which is sad news. But I've decided I'm going to save up for it and get myself that. I think, you know what? I deserve it. I have a really hard time saying stuff like that. I've just decided that at this very moment, you know what? I deserve it. It's not a frivolous purchase. I need it because I'm old. Right. I finished the update. Thank you very much for watching. And just thank you again for the support over the last 5 years. You are superstars. And just to reiterate, because I feel really strongly, it's one of the worst things about having a Patreon is people feeling guilty. If you're short cash and you are a Patreon or you are a Twitch subscriber, delete it. Don't need to send me a message. Doesn't need to be a reason. It's your money. Look after yourself. Look after your family. Look after your friends first. Go delete it. I am perfectly fine with it. I will be fine either way because I have so much support. So don't worry about it, please. Right. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.